Inbound from 119th, the entrance ramp is blocked due to police activity, and this activity is on Ashland between 118th and 119th. Solid traffic if you're coming inbound on the Stevenson between Route 83 and the Tri-State due to road work, and then the Stevenson inbound slows central to Kedzie. And if you're coming in, 355 to Lakeshore Drive is 56 minutes, 33 from the Tri-State. Outbound is looking pretty good at 33 minutes out to 355. Dan Ryan inbound 95th Street to the Byrne Interchange, that's taking 17 minutes. And the Eisenhower inbound from 390 to the post office is at 37:27 from Wolf. That's traffic. I'm Julie Cronus on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. We'll start out with sun and clouds, then a pop-up shower or thunderstorm coming across the area from the north to the south this afternoon. High 82. 75 at O'Hare. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
From the Matrix Home Solutions studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Apparently, some assailants didn't get Lori Lightfoot's message of love, chose not to hug it out, chose apparently instead to open fire on law enforcement officers. As we've been reporting, Mike Scott's been reporting, 2 ATF officers shot, 1 Chicago police officer shot on the south side.
And apparently, according to 2 different sources, the suspect began following the officers near 119th Street and I-57, and when they got near the 22nd Police District, they shot, or it could be one person or 2 of the assailants, we don't know. But 2 ATF agents shot, 1 Chicago police officer shot right there. According to Superintendent Brown, their injuries are non-life-threatening, so that's good, and Superintendent Brown's going to be addressing reporters outside of Advocate Christ Medical Center soon. But this is not now. I mean, the day that President Biden is coming to visit the Chicago area, and after one of the most violent weekends in the city's history, 104 shot, 19 killed. This happens. They're now, because there's such lawlessness now. They're hunting them down while they're at work.
It matters not to Chicago. It matters no more than it did when President Obama would come to town. Was actually from Chicago, and we would have the same sorts of stories, and there would be the same pro forma statements, and there would be the same indifferent reaction, and life would continue to descend into madness, which it has over the last decade. Moving to matters economic, I love this. This is perfect. The European Commission has proposed exempting private jets and cargo flights from the planned EU jet fuel tax.
Oh, boy.
That's just perfect. That is just perfect ruling class. The fuel tax will be applied to commercial airlines.
But not to my airline.
Well, commercial airlines, and thus to commercial passengers. So, the cattle that fly in steerage class. But private jets, cargo planes, the big business and the wealthy champagne socialists, no, they get exempted. I suspect that Biden will follow suit since he and the EU are simpatico when it comes to tax policy. For more on this, pleased to be joined by Steve Moore, economist, Wall Street Journal columnist, Trumponomics author. Steve, how about that proposed exemption for private jets and cargo planes?
Are you making this one up?
I'm not. I wish. You can't. You cannot.
You can't make
They
this
are
stuff
impossible to parody.
Well, first of all, let me just say one quick thing about that horrific report you were just talking about the police shootings. I mean, I'm an economist, but it's important for people to realize that the 3 evils of cities that are really just destroying their inner core and their enterprise and their attractiveness for people to live and work in are, number 1, taxes, obviously. Number 2 is horrific schools that you can't send your kids to, and number three is crime. And people will not move to a place where crime is out of control and where even the police are being shot. And until that gets, done and fixed, Chicago, one of the great cities in the world, I've said this so many times, I think it's one of the 10 greatest cities in the world, is not going to make a comeback. And this is a tax. Crime is a tax, among other things, on the residents of a city. And it just breaks my heart, that story. It really does. I can't believe that people tolerate that kind of behavior.
Well, that's they've been tolerating it for a long time, and apparently the tolerance knows no bounds. But
unbelievable.
Switching. So Biden is here in suburban Chicago today to tout his latest government gambits, meaning all the quote-unquote infrastructure, all that's contained in his version of the infrastructure plan. But, I mean, the tax from getting 130 countries to agree on a worldwide minimum corporate tax, except Ireland, to what you see with the EU carve-out here, to what you're going to hear from Biden again today at a community college in McHenry County. Your reaction?
Well, look, I think the Republicans made a horrible deal with the Democrats on that infrastructure bill. It is not a shame on you, Dan, for calling this infrastructure bill.
Yes,
it is a Green New Deal bill, and it's all. I've read this report. It's all green energy stuff. I mean, everything in it is about climate change. I mean, these people are completely obsessed. Every single decision they're making now has to do with climate change, not what's good for the economy and workers and so on and families. And so. We have three conditions that we're circulating a letter saying, okay, if Republicans are going to sign on to an infrastructure bill, it has to have three things. Number one, it has to get rid of all the green energy stuff. I mean, people want roads and they want bridges and they want tunnels and they want, get rid of potholes. We all do. And that's popular. The polls show people do want the roads fixed and the bridges safe and so on. So that's maybe $200 billion out of a $1.2 trillion bill. So just concentrate on what people want, which is better roads and bridges. Number two, no more money for the IRS. No more money.
Yeah.
They want to spend $40 billion for the IRS. They want to, they want to hire 85,000 new IRS agents and auditors. And if you think that they're going to use those auditors to go after Zuckerberg and Warren Buffett, no they're going
to go after the little guys.
Of course they will. And then the number three thing that's really important is that it got paid for. Look, there's hundreds of billions of dollars that still haven't even been spent because they don't know how to spend the money from the last COVID relief bill. So why don't you reprogram that money to fix roads and bridges? We can't afford another $1 trillion of debt, Amy. I mean, we are bankrupting our country with $20 trillion of new debt over the next decade.
Do you want to know how much a jug of goldfish is? Because I base inflation off of that when I go to the grocery store.
You mean
and the
the
goldfish
snack.
snacks.
Oh, I thought you meant the fish.
$8.25.
Okay,
Last time I talked to you, it was $7.99. Now it's $8.25. Just so you know, same store, same aisle.
Yeah. Well, how about for the price of oil? The barrel of oil now is $75.02. It was less than $40 a barrel when Biden became president. And by the way, I've talked to some of the experts in the oil industry, including Harold Hamm, who's the president of one of the biggest oil companies in the country, in the world, in fact. And he's saying that he thinks the oil price is going to go over to $100 a barrel. So you're talking about, what are you guys paying now in Chicago?
About downtown $3.40, out in the suburbs $3.18 to $3.30.
Yeah. All right. So it's going. If we go to $100 a barrel, it's going to go well over $4 a gallon. I mean, that's going to be almost doubling of the price of gas in just 18 months. So there is inflation out there. I mean, I've got to tell you guys. I mean, there is inflation. The worst thing now is to pass another $1 or $2 or $3 trillion spending bill that we don't have, that we're not paying for. That will inflame the inflation, no question about it. You dump $100 bills out of helicopter windows, that makes the dollars in your paycheck worth a lot less. And by the way, how did Biden come up with this number that it's cheaper now for the 4th of July than it was last year?
16 cents cheaper.
16 cents. And he's going to be here in Chicago.
How did he come up? Come up with that number. Everything's more expensive. Beef prices, hot dog prices are more expensive. The buns are more expensive. The gas to get to the 4th of July party, even the fireworks are more expensive.
Wow. And he's coming to Crystal Lake to talk about, making college more affordable for all, ending child poverty, and positive signs in the job market.
So, do you know what the Steve Moore plan is for making college more affordable?
What?
Stop
Why don't
subsidizing
we,
it.
every school that has a endowment of over $500 million, and by that includes the University of Chicago, includes Northwestern, and probably University of Illinois as well, they should basically use that endowment to cut their tuitions in half. How about that?
That would be great.
Or you can just stop subsidizing college loans.
Well,
can do that too. You can do that too.
But by the way, if you cut the tuition in half, a lot of people wouldn't have to take out those loans in the first place. I mean, the cost of college and the universities in America today is the greatest financial scandal. And the idea we keep giving the universities more money, how is that reduced? That doesn't reduce the cost of college. They just increase the tuition. The more loans, the more the tuition is.
Stephen, how much did you have to pay when you went to U of I? Do you remember?
I was paying,
back then?
Now, I'm going to tell you how old I am because back then I graduated in 82 or 83. I was on I was like a...
Was it 82 or 83?
Yeah, I was like Belushi. I was 6 years of college down the street.
Yeah, right.
But,
Commit to a year.
No, I paid about, Amy, it was about $1,200 a semester.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$1,200 a semester. And
How
by
did
the
we
way,
let that happen?
On the quad area, at the University of
we know the quad.
in Champaign, people would protest about the high tuition cost.
Right.
And now it's $20,000. I mean, what is it now? Probably $15,000 a semester or something.
And
that.
the only way you got in is you identified yourself as a Chinese national at the time. That's how you got into U of I in the first place.
By the way, I know we're running out of time. I want to make a quick point. In our hotline today, we have this item about now they want to make a special classification for LGBTQ. Now, look, I'm always against discrimination. I'm against, people discriminating on the basis of gender or the basis of whatever, skin color. But, and they're going to have loan officers, keep track of the loans they make to the LGBTQ. How do they know? How, does that mean if I go into the loan office and say that, I'm gay, I'm going to get a special hand up in the lending? I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah.
What's happening in America?
Expect a spike in people identifying as gay. That's for sure. By the way, a alert listener, Amy, for your goldfish, you can go to Target and get a 30-ounce carton for $7.79.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right. A little comparison shopping while we're on with Steve
How
Moore.
many of those goldfish do you eat every day?
Well, I mean, it's for the kids, Stephen. It's for the children.
Okay.
They like to snack or graze, as I call it, through the pantry.
Steve Moore, thanks as always. Appreciate it.
Have a great week, guys. Take care.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Doors or windows sticking? Uneven floors? Call Permaseal. Cracks in your drywall? Cracks in your brickwork? Call Permaseal. Leaning or bowing basement walls? Call Permaseal.
With this ongoing drought, homeowners are experiencing these symptoms of foundation issues. I'm Roy Spencer of Permaseal. Too often we hear of homeowners paying for an expensive consultation only to determine the problem. Don't be one of them. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL. Our structural consultants will evaluate your foundation